Imagine being a professional bodybuilder at the ripe old age of 91, when the idea of being healthy and full of energy already seems unbelievable. Actually, you don't need to imagine this, as Jim Arrington really leads that kind of life every day. Jim Arrington was born on September 1, 1932, and for many years of his early childhood, he was called Skinny Bones. Being just approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall as an adult, he was always the underdog in each contest he took part in. But before we dive into it, let's discuss what motivated him to pursue a career in bodybuilding in the first place. At 13, Arrington came upon a bodybuilding magazine while browsing for comic novels and was instantly hooked. Since then, he has devoted the rest of his life to pursuing his career as a bodybuilder for as long as it is physically possible for him to do so, which now appears to be forever. Not only does Arrington frequently compete in professional bodybuilding events, but he also continues to model for major magazines like Men's Health despite his advanced age. Arrington spent most of his life working on his physique, but he started competing as a professional stage bodybuilder in his 40s. But how had Jim been developing his skills before that? How does he maintain his youthful vigor and fitness level at an advanced age? Let's unveil the secrets behind his perfect body shape. Number 1. Find out what works best for your body. Experimenting until you uncover which method works for you is the very first and most crucial piece of advice Arrington must provide. This piece of advice was passed down to Arrington by none other than Mr. Universe, Ken Waller, in 1975. At first, even Arrington assumed Waller was being deliberately vague because he didn't want to help him. But later, he understood that everyone's genetic makeup and metabolic rates are unique and therefore call for individualized plans. In particular, Arrington began working out as a teenager, priming his body for a career switch to bodybuilding. Once he was confident in his body's readiness, he began training at an extreme level while gaining as much weight as possible. Most individuals are familiar with the starting point of professional bodybuilding, known as the bulk phase. Once Arrington built up a sufficient amount of bulk and fat, he would cut down to contest form so that his muscles would have an adequate distinction to winning the contests he was interested in participating in. As a result, Arrington has finished first or second several times throughout his career at competitions like the Masters Nationals Championships and many others. Number 2. Always stick to your healthy diet routine. Now let's delve more into the details of his approach. Arrington began working in the sales department on a full-time basis while he was in his 30s. But that didn't prevent him from also working on his physical fitness. At the office, he would regularly refuel with a drink made from 2 quarts of skimmed milk, 2 quarts of powdered milk, and just enough molasses to make it drinkable. He even went to the extent of constructing a metal straw apparatus that extended from within his desk drawer, so that he could consistently drink that healthy drink throughout the day without forgetting about it. Arrington received the idea for this blend from Paul Anderson, who was the most powerful man in the world at that moment, and would continuously make fun of his daily practice of completing a set of squats while sipping a quart of milk numerous times in one go. So Arrington adapted Paul Anderson's regimen to create this combo. Arrington's daily diet consisted not just of the mixture, but also of different kinds of protein such as cottage, cheese, fish, chicken, and beef. He monitored the number of calories he consumed at each meal and maintained a high-protein, healthy fat routine. In only 9 months, from a starting weight of 150 pounds, Arrington has added 65 pounds of muscle mass to this regimen, bringing his total weight to 215 pounds. After the bulking phase ended, he began cutting and shed 35 pounds of fat in 56 days. A cutting phase, or cutting diet, involves eliminating as much fat from the body as possible, leaving behind only the muscle mass you've already built. Typical items on a cutting diet include lean proteins, dairy products, whole grains, and vegetables. However, Arrington's aging body eventually led him to try different diets and read books like Dr. Stephen Grundy's The Longevity Paradox, which suggests consuming foods like mushrooms, olive oil, sweet potatoes, and a wide variety of other veggies. Arrington no longer eats traditional carbohydrates. Therefore, he relies on optimal protein and olive oil to regain his energy swiftly after a challenging workout. In fact, he claims that olive oil is, and has been for some time, his primary dietary source of fat. Number 3. Put some thought into your workouts. When it comes to the hard training, Arrington, like other bodybuilders, would split his body up into smaller, more manageable sessions to make it through the rigorous exercises. In other words, he wouldn't spend weeks working on a single muscle group unless he was experiencing issues with that group. In an interview with Men's Health, Arrington mentioned that, except for squats, he was satisfied with the weight he was lifting during college. As a result, he spent an entire week focusing solely on leg exercises, during which he steadily added 80 pounds to the weight he could squat even while dressed in ordinary everyday clothes, bringing his total squat strength from 220 to 300. Although at 91 years old, Arrington can no longer train like a young bodybuilder, he still exercises on Mondays for legs, Wednesdays for chest and back, and Fridays for shoulders and arms. So you might wonder why Jim Arrington continues working out at his advanced age. So the answer is, aside from the fact that bodybuilding has always been his number one interest, as we've already discussed, he also feels a moral obligation to help those who find motivation in him at his favorite gym, the legendary Gold's Gym in Venice, California. Number 4. Adopt some nighttime routine. Even though we all know that getting sufficient sleep is critical to our health and recovery, it can be challenging to implement positive changes on our own. When adjusting to other aspects of our lives, we frequently forget about a good sleeping pattern. However, establishing a schedule in the hours leading up to bedtime will help you sleep more and better. Your body and mind will learn to anticipate this regular practice, resulting in a more restful night's sleep. Before going to bed, consider doing a few mobility activities. After a long day, it can be helpful to emotionally and physically relax with deep breathing and relaxation techniques. This will help you feel less stressed. Before turning in for the night, Arrington stretches out his muscles to relieve discomfort from the day. This practice enhances his sleep quality and may even serve as excellent preparation for activities the following day. Relaxing between workouts becomes increasingly important as we age. A little extra stretching before bed can help with that. Number 5. Be surrounded by genuine people. Arrington claims nothing is more encouraging than getting surrounded by individuals who share his values and find inspiration in him, even if he cannot figure out why he is worthy of their admiration. This is where Arrington's next bit of advice comes in handy. He'd opt to avoid comparing to the other people at the gym, because doing so would make him feel like he hasn't made any progress. Instead of worrying about how he stacks up genetically against other athletes, Arrington is constantly reminded of the love and support he receives because of his accomplishments. Arrington adds that he doesn't place a high value on physical strength, explaining that his wife can sometimes do more with her hands and fingers than he can. Although Arrington and his wife have been together for many years and appear to be very happy, he has consistently declined to reveal her identity to respect her right to privacy. Arrington's deteriorating tendons and muscles have led to injuries, such as a complete tear of his left bicep and a partial tear of his right bicep, which have forced him to reduce the extent of his workouts. Arrington told Men's Health magazine that it was really discouraging. Even yet, he maintains a vigorous and healthy lifestyle, competes in senior bodybuilding events, and serves as an amazing role model to people worldwide. He elaborated, stressing once more how much the support of his peers means to him, by saying that Arrington tells you to keep soldiering away. Arrington claims that his desire to live a healthy and lengthy life drove him to break the world record for the oldest male bodybuilder, a title he now holds because of his dedication to staying in shape. We aren't sure what Arrington's next target is, but we're confident he'll keep shattering records and motivating everyone around to be the finest versions of ourselves. He frequently clarifies that his loved ones have contributed to his achievements. I really hope that you find some motivation from watching this video. Are you going to make an effort to lead a healthy life? Drop a comment and subscribe to the channel for more motivational content like this. We appreciate you taking the time to watch. Goodbye.